Well, it turns out that I don't have to replace the head gasket. All I got to do is replace the water pump seal and put it all back together, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I've already put the water pump seal in. It's right there. You just push it in. I hammered it the last little bit with a socket. No big deal there. Alright, so now I'm ready to put the water pump back together and seal it up. At least I'll start there. Here's all the parts to put the water pump back together. Here's the water pump shaft. Here's the water pump gear, the small diameter face. The small diameter face right here goes to the inside. The water pump shaft is in. The gear is in on the inside. It just screws in, but it's not tight. Now I'm going to put in the cam. Once the cam's in, I'll be able to tighten up the water pump gear. There's the little dot right there. It needs to be on the horizontal. Here is the sprocket side bearing. This goes on like that. The dot is way down here where you can't see it. It's on the horizontal where it needs to be. The two bearings are in, the cam chain's on. Now I can tighten up the water pump gear. Now the water pump shaft is nice and tight. I'm going to go ahead and put the impeller on. Here's the little clip that goes on it. Now the impeller's on, and the little clip right there. So now I can go ahead and put the water pump cover on it. Here's the water pump cover, right there. Alright, the water pump's back together. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the cam chain tensioner in. It goes way back in this hole over here. There's the gasket. There's the tensioner body. Okay, now push the tensioner in. Alright, so the cam chain tensioner is completed now. So all that's left is to put on the valve cover and to adjust the valves. Here's the valve cover. When you take it off, you might want to leave these two bolts in place because they're the bolts that keep the rocker shafts from sliding out. If they slide out, I don't know if you can see them, there's thrust washer right in here and right there, and they will fall out. I don't know how easy that is to see. Okay, so I'm going to clean the seating surface of the head and the seating surface of the valve cover. Put some gasket sealer on there and put on the valve cover. Here's the plug that goes in the end, right there. Like that. Valve cover's in place. Just bolt it up. Okay, the valve cover's on, so it's time to adjust the valves. They go to 0.10 millimeters on the intake side. That's the side I'm on right now. Okay, now I'm going to do the exhaust side. They go to 0.15 millimeter. Okay, valve adjustment is done. Time to put on the adjuster covers. Now I'm going to put the stator cover back on. The last thing now is to take the TDC bolt right there out, put the washer back in, and that will unlock the engine. Okay, the TDC bolt's back where it needs to go. This engine is all sealed up, except for the clutch slave cylinder that goes right there. So, this engine is ready to go back in the bike.